Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Note to Self. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to share a little bit more about the Radiance Code Mastermind, which is now open for enrollment. This is a powerful 6-month experience designed to support you in real, lasting transformation. And it's intentionally intimate with just 3 women inside the entire container. I like to keep my mastermind containers small because that allows each individual to receive the support that they need to create lasting transformation in their lives. We meet every single week for high-level group coaching, and in between sessions, you're never alone. You'll have access to a private WhatsApp group with me for ongoing support, check-ins, and momentum-building conversations. So this means that you're held, seen, and supported every step of the way. And before we even begin, we start strong. Each woman receives a private Energy Leadership Index assessment along with a 90-minute one-to-one debrief with me. This session sets the foundation for everything, helping you understand how you show up energetically, where your biggest opportunities for growth are, and how we can maximize your results inside the mastermind. So, if you're ready to show up fully for yourself, be deeply supported, and finally experience the kind of aligned success you know you're capable of, this is your invitation. Spots are limited to 3, and you can enroll now with the link in the show notes. Let's make this next chapter your most empowered season yet. So, let's dive into today's episode now. We're diving into something we all experience but often avoid, and that is discomfort. So more specifically, the moments that I like to call emotional edges. When something in life pokes, provokes, or pushes us into territory that feels scary, raw, or uncertain. So here's a reframe for you right off the bat. What if instead of resisting these moments, we saw them as portals, doorways to the next version of ourselves? How juicy does that sound? So, what are emotional edges? Emotional edges are like standing at the threshold of a door that's slowly creeping open into a room you've never seen before. Behind you is everything familiar, and in front of you is mystery, possibility, and light you don't yet understand. Part of you wants to slam the door shut because it can be kind of scary, but a deeper part of you is drawn to step through. Emotional edges show up in our relationships, our careers, and our healing journeys. Those places where something new is trying to emerge, but our old self still wants to grip the rails. So here's the truth. Your discomfort is intelligent. Neuroscience backs this because when we're doing something new or stretching past an old story, the brain literally rewires. So that shakiness you might feel, it's actually neuroplasticity in motion. It's like a rocket ship during liftoff. It rumbles, it shakes, and it feels like everything might fall apart. But that turbulence is actually what gets it off the ground. So when your chest tightens, your throat closes, and your inner child wants to run, that's no longer going to be a sign to stop. It's actually a signal that you're on the brink of expansion. And yet, how easy is it for us to want to go back, to close the door, to run back to comfort, back to the familiar, even if it's not working for us anymore? We perhaps tell ourselves, maybe this is too much. Maybe I should just play it safe, or keep playing small, or keep dimming my light in ways. But here's a reframe. Comfort and safety are not the same. A butterfly doesn't return to its cocoon when the wind scares her. She flutters, she wobbles, and then she soars. She stays the course. So how do we work with our emotional edges? How do we meet them with courage? So I'm going to share with you a process that I come back to often. Step 1 is to pause and breathe. Let yourself feel before you act. Step 2 is to ask reflective questions. What am I afraid to feel in this moment? What part of me is trying to protect me right now? Or what part of me is trying to expand? Step 3 is to stay curious. When we are in curiosity, we can't judge ourselves. And when we are in curiosity, our energy is in a state of openness. So when you stay curious, you treat your discomfort like a teacher, not a threat to your system. And that allows for your intuition to come through, that internal guidance system that will naturally make the next step or steps become clear. So the step 4 is to use your tools. You can journal. What is this discomfort inviting me to become? You can try movement or breath work. You could literally shake the energy through by dancing. And another tool is coaching. Get support in reframing and integrating what you're experiencing in your life and what those emotional edges are calling from you. And step 5 is to remind yourself that, like a fitness class, the emotional burn is building strength. No one gets stronger without the stretch. And in life, we are so motivated to grow and expand, especially if you're listening to this podcast. I know that I call in a very particular group of people who are naturally always focused on their self-development and creating dreams coming true in their realities. So think about that. No one gets stronger without the stretch. Wherever there's discomfort presenting itself in your reality, you're being inspired to stretch. And what happens when you stretch is that you stretch into a new normal that becomes awesome, that becomes deeply fulfilling for you. So perhaps the stretch, right? Perhaps these uncomfortable portals could actually be very exciting. So I want to share one of my own personal edges with you, just to grant a bit more context or examples. When I lost my brother earlier this year, the grief wasn't just emotional. It touched every layer of who I thought I was. I didn't know how to hold it at times. I wanted to retreat. I wanted to numb, but I knew that the edge wasn't something to run from. And through sitting with the discomfort, through leaning into it, I received so many gifts, a lot of which I've shared with you in this podcast. And even through my latest experience with Iboga, sitting with what was there for me and showing up for the work, the internal work, I naturally have become more comfortable in letting the discomfort, the grief move through me and move me and up-level me into a person who is stronger, who has more love, who has more depth and more connection than I ever imagined. So wherever you find yourself, if you're at an emotional edge right now, I want you to know you're not failing. There's no part of you that's broken. You are breaking through. And your discomfort is not a stop sign. It's actually a signpost saying, right this way, queen or king. Your next level is waiting. And I'll leave you with this. Next time you feel the edge, ask yourself, what portal is opening for me right now? And remember this episode, perhaps even come back to it if you need that little oomph, that little motivational message for you. Portals are a gateway to incredible growth. And with that, if you are feeling the call for any additional support, there is always a link to one-to-one coaching down below. Or if you feel the call to enter into the Radiance Code, I would absolutely love to work with you. Let's make dreams a natural byproduct of you just being yourself. Dreams coming true, manifestations being actualized. This is the type of work that happens when you decide to look at and reflect on your internal reality and start to really integrate an entirely new identity and way of being for yourself. And that is the work that I do inside all of my coaching containers, whether it be one-to-one or group programs. So I would love to hear from you, and I'll be chatting with you very soon in the next episode. So sending you so much love today, and just know that your dreams, those intentions on your heart, they're coming to fruition.